So when we interviewed the former pensions minister, Guy Opperman, earlier this year, he was quite trenchant and forthright about the question of who would pay for Scottish state pensions in the future. And I get the impression that perhaps his view is somewhat at odds with your own party's view. So set the record straight for us, please.
Well, if you look back to 2014, the then UK pensions minister, who was a Lib Dem, his name escapes me, said that, yeah, that's right, yeah, yeah, of course, the people that paid into the UK pot for their state pension would receive that money back from the UK pot. I suppose the way we look at it is if somebody living in Scotland chose to go and live in Spain or Italy, for example, enjoy their retirement, they would still receive their UK pension. So if they were living in Scotland for their retirement, why wouldn't they? Because there's no difference in that regard. Now, in reality, what will happen is it will be part of the asset and liability negotiations at the point of independence. And at some point, there'll be a transition over from UK government to Scottish government and a financial adjustment made to take account of that. But the principle that you've paid in, and then because you happen to be living in Scotland, which would be the only country in the world where you'd be living, where you'd paid your UK pension, but you wouldn't be receiving your UK pension, is clearly patently nonsense.
Yeah, I think we could push back on that a bit. Okay. You know, right. the argument is it's not the same if you're a British citizen and you've accrued a benefit potential. It's not a legal right. It's a welfare benefit. Sure. But it's paid for out of current taxation.
Yep.
And so if I go abroad, I've still got that benefit entitlement that's being paid by all these working people here.
Yep.
Because they're UK citizens. And so they're paying UK citizens' taxes to support a UK citizen who's got a welfare benefit. If you're a different country, why should these taxpayers here be paying a pension for someone who's a foreign national?
So let's give you some other scenarios. If you're living in Scotland and you moved to England the day before we became independent, or you moved to England the day after we became independent, would those scenarios be different? If you were living in England and you moved to Scotland the day before we became independent, what would that scenario look like? So I think when you start to unpick it and look at these scenarios, it starts to become not a sustainable position.
Okay. So that's one for the negotiations.
It certainly is.
Okay. Yeah. But the Scottish National Party position remains that those pensions should be paid for as part of the settlement out of UK taxation rather than Scottish taxation.
As I say, in reality, there'd be an asset and liability discussion where that would be all wrapped up. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you for that.